Dream, 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 dream. Dream, dream, dream when I want you. In my arms when I want you. And all your charms whenever I want you. All I have to do is dream.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the Contemporary Comrades podcast. This is your boy Big J. We got Neil in the building, aka Corns, and we got Adam, aka Adam, in the building. So we got a hodgepodge of topics to talk about tonight. We got we have dreams and how they affect you and what they mean. We're kind of going to talk about a little bit of that. We're going to talk about nostalgia. We're going to segue nostalgia from the dreams portion. And then we have, just a couple BS current events, if you want to call them that, to talk about. But anybody, Gordon, care to lead it off for us, man? Adam, go ahead and lead it off for us, man.
Yeah, sure. No, why not? Yeah, so I thought of this idea, I think, it's been about a month. This one was in the making. Just about how dreams kind of, what they mean to you, how they make you feel, especially when you're a kid. Like sometimes when I just had a really good dream, it will either change my entire day or make me sleep really good afterwards. It's kind of like you think of something that's just so deep, it changes your entire mindset for a little while. Like we got to talk about, if we're going to get into dreams in general, I guess we got to talk about some weird shit. Remember that time I told you a dream I had where that dude was dressed up like Sonic and like singing at the bar or something?
Yeah.
You remember that, Corn? I told you that too?
Yeah.
Like weird as shit, right? And it's like,
yeah,
you remember these weird fucking things that just stand out, and like then you tell your friends, and you're just like why did I think of this? Because like apparently you're in control of your dreams. Like it's the weird amount of stuff you're thinking about.
You can be in control of your dreams. You have to harness that, but it's possible.
Yeah, I feel like.
I feel like the only way you can control your dreams is before you actually have the dream.
No, literally, there's something called lucid dreaming where you dream and you can be conscious in your dream and do things in your dream. This is a real thing.
Trying to run away all slow and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like you can make your own decisions in your dream. Like I've had a lot of really, really vivid dreams, but I was always kind of just on autopilot. Like I've never actually been able to lucid dream before like that.
Like I've been in ones where I'm like in a situation, but I don't really make the decision. It's just like I made the decision, but not me personally. It's just like I'm, like you said, like you're on autopilot, where you're just like you're basically like playing passenger seat, pretty much.
Yeah.
That was really oddly specific going on.
You're like a spectator in your own reality. That's what I like to call it.
Mm-hmm.
So
weird.
Anybody got a? Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna say, like, it's weird. Like whenever you have a vivid bad one, I would always wake up like right before I got beat up or died or something. Like I would always remember like kneeling down like a little bitch. I would like put my arms over my head like kneel down when something bad was about to happen, and then I wake up. It's like I could always know when it was a dream before I woke up.
Yeah.
It's like you're thinking about it while you're asleep at the very last second. And you're like, oh wait, this is a dream, and then you're awake. It's really bizarre. Like I don't dream as much as I'd like to. I feel like I have the best ones when I'm like either I go to bed early or I'm not really watching that much stuff. Like if I turn YouTube completely off and like maybe read or something, I feel like I'm in the more creative mindset, and I'll have a more vivid sleep that'll include that. But then sometimes it's total opposite. Like I was watching like these dudes on YouTube playing a video game I like, and like I had a dream I was like at a bar with them. Like it's so weird. Like it really depends on what the last thought you had is when you go to sleep. It's just
that's what I was saying earlier. Like when you first were talking about it, because like I feel like the only way I feel like you can control your dream is what you think of before you fall asleep. Like I hate those nights when you're like dead tired and you like me on most nights. I don't force myself to sleep. That's why I always fall asleep with the TV on, because I just fall asleep. And I hate it when that happens, because you can't really control what you're dreaming about. You can't really control your last thought, because you're thinking about one thing, and then before you know it, your sleep.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true. I have a kind of a different, I guess, I don't know, my dreams are very weird. I have a lot of weird dreams. I haven't had a bad dream in probably like 15 years.
Damn,
No BS. Like I have negative dreams, but I haven't been scared in a dream since I was like a kid. Like I've had dreams where I died. I'll tell you one dream I had.
Yeah.
I was in the backseat of this car. It was dark and rainy, and it was like three of us in the back seat, and somebody was showing us something. I can't remember if it was on a phone or a book or whatever, but I remember looking at it, and then and then from the street light shined on the window, and then I saw something silver flash. I was like, "What's that?" I look over, a silver 45 caliber pistol stuck to my head,
Jeez.
and then it goes boom, and then I fall into this black abyss. Like I shit you not, I thought I actually died in real life. Like I thought somebody came in my house, shot me while I was sleeping. I fall into this black abyss, and then I come to, and then I kept my eyes closed. I was like, it was for about 5 minutes. I didn't know whether I was dead or alive. So then I opened up one eye and the other one, and I looked around and just moved my eyes, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna try and move my arm now. So I moved my arm. I was like, okay.
Oh yeah,
all right,
dude. Speaking of that,
okay, I'm alive. Like shit can get crazy, but I wasn't scared the entire time, even when I got shot.
yeah,
That's the crazy thing about it.
that's wild, bro. Have you ever like woken up so quick your entire body's still asleep? Like just your just your brain and head wakes up and then you can't move anything. Yeah, sleep paralysis. Yeah, that shit's crazy.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I have nightmares, I literally can fall back asleep so gracefully. It's like literally as soon as I wake up from a dream, I can fall back just like the easiest I ever can from anything. Like even if you're dead ass tired, go to bed. For some reason after waking up from a dream, I can go back to sleep easier than any other time. I think it's because you're I can't even talk. You're at so much peace at that point, and you're like the body's still not really aware of where it is. It's just so easy to go back. I'm not really sure what the explanation is on that one. But like a lot of, so you said you wanted to segue into nostalgia. I feel like
before we get into nostalgia, like with the dream aspect, I get what you mean. I can't wake up from it like what Jared said. Like he hasn't had a bad dream in 15 years or whatever.
Yeah,
For me, I consider dreams that I die in bad dreams. Not that I'm scared or anything. I don't get scared.
I should rephrase that. I really meant to say I haven't been scared in a dream since I was a kid. I've had negative dreams
because when I was a kid, I was scared of everything. And now I'm an adult. I'm not really scared. I'm not scared of anything. I'm not. I'm just not. Like I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of where I'm going to go after I die. I'm not of actually dying.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no point of being scared of dying.
Being scared of the inevitable. You know what I'm saying? There's just the physical body, so you know.
To me, there's no point of me being scared of dying. But like, I'll tell you this quick story real quick. This is really weird though. So, ever since I was little, y'all know my mom. My mom's a very spiritual person. So for some reason, she always told us all these different dreams and stuff that she has when she goes to sleep. I don't know why, but she always told like me and my brother and my sister like all these different dreams and stuff. And a lot of those dreams, she would have dreams of like saying like, "Oh, and Cornelius, you were in it, and this happened." I'm like, why am I in your fucking dream? Like I'm thinking to myself like, why? It's like the most bizarre situations. So here's another funny thing, because my grandma does the same fucking thing, and I don't know if it's like hereditary. I think is the word for it. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Proper word, yeah.
I called my grandma yesterday for her birthday, and then she told me she had a dream the other night, and her brother and me were in the truck with her. And I'm like, what the fuck? Because I called her for her birthday yesterday, and she sounded really excited to hear from me. And she's never.
You're breaking up a little bit, man.
Yeah, you are.
I was like, why is she excited to hear from me? Whatever. So then she told me about this dream she had where I was in the back of the truck and my uncle was in the passenger seat. No, I was driving, and then she was in the back, and my uncle was in the passenger seat, and then we back out, and we almost got hit by a truck. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why are y'all having? I'm like, look, y'all need to keep me out y'all fucking dreams, because y'all are freaking me the fuck out.
They can't. It's probably something they can't control, man.
Yeah. I'm like, look, man, like, I'm not afraid of stuff, but I'm like, y'all are freaking me the fuck out with these fucking dreams, man. Like, get the fuck out of y'all fucking head, right?
I mean, they say you dream about people you care about, or people in passing, and
Yeah, very
stuff
true.
like that.
Well, then, no wonder I only have dreams of myself then. I've had plenty of dreams where, like, I had one dream where I literally saw myself, like, dead, like, in a casket, and I was like, whoa.
Oh, wow.
Crazy, man.
That's
that was like a few years ago. I've had, like, other dreams, but usually some dreams I like forget that I had. You know what I mean? Until, like,
so much.
So I see something, like, random, like, I'll be at work or something or at school, and, like, a word will come up on the board, and I'll be like, holy shit, and it'll take me back to that dream that I totally forgot even existed. Like, I couldn't think of the dream after I had it. It's super crazy, man.
Yeah, signalings. Like, most of my dreams I've forgotten too, especially if they're really good. Like, if I have something that just really connects with me, I'm just like, that was awesome, and I wake up and it's all gone. I'm just like,
so now I'm back to.
I'm just like, what just happened? I feel great, but I can't remember a fucking thing of it. And you're talking about signalings. That's what I was going with the whole nostalgia thing. I wasn't trying to rush us, but I feel like signalings happen when your senses kind of react for you. Like, the sense of smell is really powerful. I think I mentioned this to you a while back, Corn, about when you were into that, you're getting a scent of candles, and I feel like they connected with you because of the whole nostalgia and the way memories are triggered. Like, if you smell something as a kid, and this could relate to any sense, but I feel like smell is just the most memory triggering out of all of them. Just because, like, you just smell different things as you grow, and they relate back to things that you grew up with. Like, if I smell like a metally substance, or just like a freshly built wood or something, it'll bring me back to, like, going to, like, Lowe's Hardware with Pop, or, like, being in high school. Like, you smell the lockers all the time, and that'll bring
in that damn locker room.
Yeah, the stinky ass locker room, and like, it'll just trigger, like, the weirdest shit. That'll put me on a field trip, real quick. And so, like, just the senses in general are just incredible. Like, I wish this kind of shit happened to me all the time. Like, I wish just, like, the senses could bring back things, more often. If you could trigger them by choice, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, like, I had some weird ass dream, and I couldn't remember it. But then, like, the other day I was in the bathroom. This is gonna be really weird, but I was in the bathroom the other day. And I want to go. You got the little stalls, not the stalls, but the urinals. So I went to the urinal. This other dude went to the urinal, and there's no wall next to my urinal that I'm at.
Right.
This dude just gets bare ass, like, pulls his pants all the way down.
Oh, I hate that. Yeah. So many people do that shit.
And it reminded me of this weird ass dream I had where I was running through, like, it looked like kind of like Wizard of Oz, where I was just running through it butt naked. I don't know what I was running towards, but I was butt ass naked. That's all I remember. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, it's just crazy, man. Like, dreams are literally, like, there's something that can't be explained. It really is.
I don't know, man. The weird shit will stick with you too.
Absolutely. Yeah. So have either of y'all had a dream inside of a dream?
Literally,
like,
literally Inception.
You're dreaming. You're dreaming, and then you go into another dream.
Yeah, I've gone to sleep in a dream before, and then started thinking shit. It's hard to remember that much detail, but I literally remember going to bed while already asleep.
Yeah,
and that's just. I had a really vivid one time. I'll tell you real quick. So it was weird. This was probably back in college. I had this dream, but I was on it was like a real skinny road going up like a mountain type of thing, and there were all these shops. It was nighttime. Most of my dreams were nighttime, which is weird, except for a few. But it was nighttime, and it was like a steep hill going up this mountain. And I was with like two girls I knew from college, and a couple other random faces that I remembered but can't put a name to. Yeah. And it was weird. We were going around like shoplifting almost. Like I think we were going around shoplifting. Like, one of the girls, like, and these are all people who would never do this in real life.
Did you sleep with them?
No. One of the girls, like, grabbed some shirts or whatever and stuffed them in her coat, and we were like going up the mountain, stopping at stores and just taking shit. And then something happens. I can't remember. I can't remember this part. But then I end up in a all white room. Everybody, even the people I was shoplifting with, were all looking at me. I'm strapped to a table, and then I look over, and there's, like, some dude comes over in a mask and just, like, puts a needle in my arm, a syringe in my arm, and as soon as he, like, squeezed it, my mind like expanded. I fell in. At that point when I was in the chair, I was like, okay, I'm dreaming now. And then when he squeezed the syringe, I went into another dream, and I was looking at myself, like I was bird's eye view of myself floating amongst planets.
Oh yeah, man.
Like I was floating in space, looking at planets, like most vivid colors you could ever think of in your life. Like
That's the
bright purple and bright orange and red. What's that?
Sherman Hemsley.
Sherman Hemsley.
No, honestly, man, if you're a smoker and then you stop smoking, we're talking about weed, of course. Then you have some pretty vivid dreams too.
That's good. No, I was talking about what he shot in your arm, but yeah, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, he shot that Sherman Hemsley up in my arm.
That's actually just epic on all scales. I wish I had a dream like that. Most of mine are the ones that I even remember are usually just weird shit. Like I'm stuck inside a house. Like it's always inside. It's inside doors. Like inside a fucking place for me. Like I'm never outside. I'm never out in the open. I'm either locked in a room or I'm just some random location. Like it's never anything big and beautiful like that. It's the ones I remember that are worth shit are usually somebody acting like a fool within a location. And like it's been a while since I've even had a deep dream myself, to be honest with you. And
yeah,
the last one I had was that the one where I was going to a bar with those two YouTubers and it was just random random nonsense, you know, like oh yeah, this is cool. This would never happen, but this is cool. And I'm like, yeah, I gotta be dreaming, you know, and then wake up, you know. So not too much interesting stuff going on in that regard. But
well, they say you dream every night, but you just don't remember all of them. This is like some research I've done on dreams that seems to be a common theme.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
And also, you know how you were saying earlier, you sleep better after you dream, after you go back to sleep from a dream, or you sleep better when you remember your dreams. I don't think that's true for everybody, because my woman, she'll when she sleeps and dreams a lot, she's dead tired in the morning, like can't even like horrible night's sleep type stuff. If she has a lot of dreams. You're broken up. I can't hear you.
Like it exhausts you.
Yeah, she gets mentally exhausted. She'll have so many dreams at night sometimes.
Okay, I feel that. I mean, some of them you really get involved with. Not really many of mine. I don't remember the last one I got deeply involved with on a mental scale. But you know,
that's like every dream I remember.
Well, good for you. I mean, some people dream differently, but like, I wish I had those vivid ones. Like, if I had vivid ones like that, I'd really enjoy it. I mean, that's kind of the shit I crave. But like,
yeah, it definitely would make for some good artwork if I was an artist. That's for sure.
For sure, that's kind of what I was getting at. Like, waiting for like finding inspirations, you know, kind of tough for me at the moment, and that shit really does get me going. Yeah, I wanted to get an inspiration too. So we want to cover nostalgia first, though.
Doesn't matter. You're just going well. It don't matter. Just go with the flow.
Yeah. So if you're going by inspiration next, then some really vivid storytelling is what gets me going. Like you guys know, my goal is making comics and making my own stories and universes, honestly. And really, what gets me going in that regard is reading or watching something else that's someone created, like a really good movie, a really good show, a really good video game. Like, you know, first episode we talked about, you know, Daredevil. Oh boy, of course we already know what happened to it. But yeah, like we talked about that story. We talk about movie stories. You know, I just got finished with Red Dead 2's amazing story. Like just stuff like that really can connect with me, resonate with me, and get me going for a while, and make me want to get back into my own stuff. And really, fiction in general inspires me. Well, that's kind of my main driver. It, like, real life's whatever. I mean, we all got to live it, but I'm just that weirdo type that can only really get going from something that someone else actually made, and that's the most influential stuff to me. That's what really helps me remember each day is a new chance to start over. You know, so as far as inspiration goes, like I mean, kindness and decency goes a long way too. But the biggest pusher is just imagination. That's my biggest inspiration.
Yeah, and dreams kind of propel that imagination. I feel like I think everything you do is like an inspiration towards like your imagination. Like me, like speaking of dreams, I woke up from a dream about 3 weeks ago, I want to say, and just started writing down this random ass lyric that I came up with in my dream. And I
Yeah.
was like, what the fuck did this come? This is literally the only lyrics
Nice.
I have in my phone.
Nice.
Like you like go to my Microsoft Word app, and there's like a whole bunch of like random shit, and you can have like just one thing of lyrics, and it just came from the one dream I had. That's it. I was like, dude, that's so random. But yeah, like I mean, it's all about your imagination. Like especially like I feel like the good dreams that I do have, which I feel like I have more good dreams than I do bad ones. It'd be kind of weird if I had bad dreams, more bad dreams than good ones. But
Yeah.
for the good dream, I feel like it all comes from your imagination. Like, what are you imagining? What are you thinking of? Like, if you think about like you just imagine 90% of the day about just stuff that you like and stuff that you want to come up with and stuff like that. And when you go to bed at night, what are you dreaming about? You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. Also, Adam, you wanted to touch on nostalgia a little bit. What inspired your you know? I think we all just for the fans out here, the three that we have at the moment.
all three of us.
we
We
have like 12 because 12 people listen to the last podcast.
Okay, that's cool. That's probably me listening to it 5 times, but I ain't gonna tell nobody else. Anyway, we all grew up together since early childhood. We're talking diapers and
basically.
Well, y'all did in diapers.
yeah, but either way, we've all kind of
Six.
spread across the country. So I think we're kind of missing each other in a bro way, and I think that's what sparked the I think that's what sparked the nostalgia talk. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, see, I kind of want to hear what inspires you guys first, and then we get into nostalgia altogether. I mean, so like,
It inspires like in what kind of way? Like in anything?
yeah, just like to keep on getting up and doing it. It's like I told you, mine. It's really just something deep within me that has to. And sometimes I don't have it at all. But go ahead.
I'm not gonna touch on mine for real long because everybody knows what my aspirations and inspirations are. But
I mean the viewers don't, the listeners don't.
Yeah, new viewers, man.
Obviously I want to be a pro wrestler, so my inspirations, and also I want to be an actor too. But that's like a little side thing I would like doing, being a musician in a rock band. But mainly it's wrestling, and like my inspirations were just like as a kid. Ever since I was a kid, I started watching wrestling when I was like 4 or 5, and then I knew that I wanted to do it when I was like 6. It's just like the whole aspect of it, the acting, the wrestling, and just like portraying different characters, like being someone who you're not. And even more like the older I've gotten, it's like you actually get to be more of who you really are. And I've learned that with studying it, like just nonstop. Just I can watch wrestling all day, every day if I could. But like just having that want and that will, and that aspiration of fulfilling my goal, and like that's been the only thing I've ever wanted to do my entire life. Being inspired by different wrestlers. I'm not going to name them off because nobody will really know who they are, but just being inspired by those guys and being inspired by not just their character, but who they are outside, off camera and stuff like that. And just knowing exactly what you can do. And like people like John Cena and The Rock and stuff like that, it's very small amount of people that do stuff that inspires people, which makes them stand out. And they are one of the many people that inspired me to do what I want to do, and which is why I moved away from home to go and fulfill that goal.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Adam,
well,
what inspires you?
Well, I kind of covered it already, but a few other things.
Oh yeah, that's true.
No, there's a little bit more. Well, Core mentioned wrestlers. I haven't read comics in a while, but there are some comic artists that whenever I pick up and read their stuff, I'm always like, wow, this person is incredible. Like we know Stan Lee just passed. This guy is literally immortal because he made his dreams reality. And I wasn't even sad when he died. And it might sound like a dick thing to say, but this guy had the best. This guy had an.
I mean, how he was old, man. He was like 95 or something.
Exactly. No, but the thing is, he had such an amazing life. Like I have this book. I think it's called Stan Lee's memoir. They have it on the shelf, so I obviously could just go read it. But it's his life written in a comic book form, like pretty much an autobiography of sorts. This guy was just, he did so much shit. Like, he was in a war. He pretty much started his own like comic company from the ground up. Back in the day, writing when newspapers were all the rage, like that was your main source of news. And like he started so much stuff and just kept growing with the times. Like, he had like such a legacy that you just, this guy is gone, but he is not going to be dead. Like, he's gonna, as long as his creations are alive, this dude will not die. That's the same thing I want. Like, I want to have your creations outlive you. Like, as long as Spider-Man exists among the many others he made, this guy's not going anywhere. His name is going to be on every form of media for as long as we're alive. Like, we'll still be seeing Stan Lee's name on stuff, but by the time we're old men, we all get to be that old. But like, that's just incredible. Like, that's the kind of stuff that just drives me, because like, that's in my situation right now. I have to look for the bright sides, and it's really just that's the best stuff for me. But yeah, you go ahead, bro. I've already kind of explained 2 times now, so let's get into it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm at a bit of a crossroads in I guess my journey in life, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, I feel you.
When I grew up, I didn't really. When I was growing up, I didn't really have any one thing that I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. That's it. I like a lot of different things, and I mean, everything I make an attempt to do, I'm at least halfway decent at. So there were a couple routes I could have went through life, and a lot of different things that inspire me, per different, I guess subjects, if you want to call them.
Right.
But the first thing I really wanted to do out of that inspired me was playing guitar. Like, I started playing guitar when I was first 12 years old. And well, actually, no, I was about 10, and I played till I was.
I'm good at it too.
Yeah, I was pretty good.
I remember that. I remember listening to you play a few times here. Not that often, but I remember when it happened.
Yeah, I mean, I played the school talent show, did just side bands, and just played all the time. And
hey, you were in that band with James Perry. That's right.
Yeah. And his dad was on bass, and we had another guy playing lead guitar. Yeah, it was fun stuff.
That's right, bro. Yeah.
But that dream got shattered when I had a severe finger injury in high school football, and that was the only thing that I said I want to do. I was like, okay, I want to go to college. I want to learn jazz guitar. I want to write my own music. I want to compose music. Like, this is the route I want to take. Well, that got shattered, and I was 17 years old. So then I had to come up with something else, which was the only other thing that really inspired me in that way, which was working on things and fixing things.
Yeah. So
I was always into computers. I was into cars. I've been into that stuff, you all know, since I was a little kid.
Right.
Yeah. I was like, all right, so I'll go ahead and do this IT thing. And I was inspired to do that by some professors in high school who really said, hey man, like you can make something out of this. My family always been supportive of me. So I went to do the IT thing. I really enjoyed it. I still really enjoy it. I still do it now. I do it a lot now. But I'm at this crossroads in my life now where it's like, okay, I've been an IT professional for like 6 years at this point. Like, is this still something I want to do for the rest of my life? Because I have plans to start a business. I want to start my own company. Actually, I have plans to start that next year. If things go the way that they should be going.
I'd love to see what you got for that.
Yeah. Yeah, we can talk about that in another podcast. Just business ideas and how to start a business. We can go over all that.
Oh, that'd be incredible. Yeah, I want to do that too. I've mentioned that to you guys before, but it's a whole lot to it. And it's a whole lot of you have to be in the right mindset, which I don't think I'm quite there yet.
Yeah, and it's got to be it's a 24/7 thing. Be a business.
Oh, definitely, most definitely.
Yeah, but it's so worth it, man.
It is.
Being your own boss, there's nothing better than that. Like,
I agree.
I would trade anything for that right now, honestly. But
no, I guess what inspires me is having something. I guess it's kind of like what you, Adam. I want something that I've created to come to fruition, and I want to see it. Like, I want to see it bring. I want to see it have an effect on on the world, or if not the world, then my immediate area, or
Yeah, just someone.
something.
One person.
Yeah. Well, I need more than one person. but but I'm struggling with that now because I was in a position where, all right, I move up in the company I'm already at, or I leave and go to another company, maybe a little, maybe a raise, or I just say screw it and go ahead and start my own business with like $1,000 or something like that, which you can do. So I've been lacking a little bit of inspiration lately, and it's been tough for me to make this kind of decision. So I mean, I know what you mean with like having inspiration. I've been inspired by, like I said, professors, family, friends, other professionals in other fields that I've had interest in. Like I could go watch a YouTube video of freaking Tony Hawk or Paul Rodriguez or something doing a kickflip down a 20 a 20 stair, and then make me want to go ride a skateboard again.
Right.
I can find
exactly how that feels.
I can find inspiration anywhere, anytime for anything that I've ever liked. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard for me to pinpoint it, but I'm lacking. I need that next level of inspiration in my life right now. That I think I'm lacking, and I think I have a little bit more clarity about where I want to go.
Yeah. Well, we're all
which is what you need. And the thing is, I'm glad we're thinking about this shit now.
Yeah.
And not 15 years from now.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, dude, we're all 25 and 26. Like,
Yeah. Well, this is the time in our lives we're supposed to get our shit together, according to the people older than us. So this is the age where we're supposed to, which doesn't mean we have to, but I want to. I want to have my shit together, but at least a better degree by the time I'm fucking 30. Like at least something. And like, I mean, I know people who are older than me who haven't amounted to shit. Like, not that I don't want to sound like a dick, but they haven't. And I don't want to be that guy, but right now I feel like it could easily happen if I don't step it up. And you really have to just dig deep, because right now I'm not seeing anything that really inspires me. That's why I've gotten back into probably playing too many video games, because I'm finding amazing stories there, and I'm just anything fictional and deep will just really resonate with me. And that's what it takes. That's what it takes. So you really just got to be digging for what you love.
Because when I was, I don't mean to cut you off, but as I was getting older, man, I started thinking to myself, I was like, I'm thinking like this move and that move, just different moves. And like, as I've gotten older, I started seeing people use them, and I'm like, holy shit, man, I totally thought of that. Or it's like somebody thinks of like some kind of mask to wear, or to paint their face a certain way. And I'm like, because like when I was younger, I was thinking like, I'm not saying like Finn Balor stole my face paint or anything, but I'm thinking like, oh dude, I want to paint my face as like Venom and have the tongue down. And then sure enough, 5 years later, somebody does it, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Right.
Something I'm like, man, look, I still got some ideas. I still got like some ideas, like a handful of ideas of all these big ideas that I had imagining of this stuff growing up, and then people have thought of it too. So I'm like, dude, I need to go ahead and get into this shit and start using my own shit, because if I turn 30 and I haven't done this yet, all my ideas are gonna be gone because somebody else thought of it. You know what I mean?
Don't think 30 is this deadly number though. I mean,
I say 30 because everybody always says like once you turn 30, everything just flies by. I'm like, holy fuck.
It's already flying by.
Dude, I'm 25, and it seems like yesterday we graduated high school. Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, dude, I don't even want to think about anything flying by.
Yeah, it's been 8 years.
Yeah, which is fucking ridiculous, man. Well, 7, but yeah.
No, it's been 8, man. We graduated in 2011.
It's 2018.
We graduated in June 2011.
So 7.
Oh yeah, I guess it is 7. maybe it was throwing me off as I was 18 when I graduated. Now I'm 26. Yeah. But that couple month, month disparity. So you're right, 7.
Yeah, y'all are 26. I forgot about that.
I mean, don't you turn 26 in a couple days?
Yeah, I have an idea of Jesus Christ.
If I remember right, isn't it the 15th? Yeah, it is, isn't it?
16. Yeah, I can tell nobody else.
It's not. But just having these ideas and just wanting to do more with it. Like, I'm tired. Like, I got to the point, especially being in the Army, I got to a point where I was like, I mean, I don't want to say depressed, but where I'm just like, just really deep into myself, where I'm like, dude, I don't want to live this life where like this certain lifestyle that I was living in the military, having all that, like just having to be alert all the time of like different stupid shit. And I was just like, you know what, dude, I need to go after my dreams, because if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. I'm going to turn 40, working at a warehouse, retire from a warehouse or some shit like that, and I don't want to fucking do that. So I was like, dude, first step, move to Florida. I already done that. I already got the first step done. I'm here now. Second step is to start training. Third step is to be in the business, to do the only thing I love to do in the entire world, which is like wrestle. I wrestled as a kid. I loved it. I just didn't have that drive that I do now to actually like want to be successful in it. So yeah.
Corn, do you want to get us started off with some current events, unless anybody has anything else to say about nostalgia or aspirations in life and whatnot?
Anything else on nostalgia?
Well, yeah, we didn't really do much with nostalgia. I just mentioned the sense of smell, how powerful it is triggering memories. You guys have anything on that topic?
Yeah. I mean, I guess nostalgia kind of plays a part into today's society. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
All the nostalgia we had as kids, and I think I don't want to speak for anybody other than myself, but I think we can all relate to it. It's like different nostalgia shit that we had, like stuff that made our childhood fun, is no longer applicable to kids nowadays.
Yeah.
And I hate saying or something, but I mean that's just the way it is. Like you look at different TV shows that we watched, the lessons that were taught in those TV shows.
Oh, bro, yeah, like stuff from Hey Arnold, for example. Like some of
the only good message I've seen from kids shows, and I'm not gonna lie, I've watched a few kids shows, like now, and the only lessons that I can really come up with is like no bullying. That's the main message I see now. Is like the anti-bullying, which is fine, but that's the only like sensible lesson that I've seen in these shows is, oh, anti-bullying, don't bully, blah blah blah. And it also ties into like nowadays like memes and stuff. Like, okay, we have this sensitive society, and everybody's sensitive in this whole era now, PC, PG, whatever. But yet we have memes, and people are still getting in trouble for shit that they said 10 or 12 years ago, or hell, even 20 years ago. Not done, but have said. And to be specific, I'm talking about the tweets. I totally forgot that Twitter's been around for 12 years. I totally forgot about that shit.
Yeah.
But people are still getting in trouble for that. They're out there making fun of other people. So I don't get it. And I mean, it's just another like, I guess a subject in terms of that is, which I actually had a question for you guys, because I want to know your opinions on it, because I already said my opinion on my own podcast just a couple nights ago, which you can find on Shadow Bundles. But anyways,
where?
On Shadow Bundles on SoundCloud.
I love that picture you put, by the way.
Addiction.
Anyways,
I want to know you guys' opinion on entertainment, in terms of entertainment. Like, why are entertainers held? Like, I understand that they are essentially role models. At the end of the day, they are somewhat role models. Right. Whether role models or bad role models, they're role models. Should comedians specifically be held liable for what they have said, stand up or not? Because now I feel like you can't do anything you can't be funny without making fun of other people. Like, I feel like, especially with the somebody help me out. But,
LGBTQ.
Yes. When they complain about, okay, so-and-so said this on the stand-up, because Kevin Hart isn't the first guy to get in trouble for this. He's not the first comedian to get in trouble for this.
No, not at all.
So when they say stuff on stage, stuff like that, like, they can make fun of black people, they can make fun of white people, they can make fun of Latinos, they can make fun of all these different people. But as soon as they make fun of that community, then it's this whole backlash. So what I think for comedians should be held, not just comedians, but entertainers in general, should be held liable for something that they said 10 years ago when the gay community wasn't as big as it is now?
Well, yeah, let's see. It really just depends on how sensitive the viewer is, because if these people are getting offended by every little thing this person says, they should just not watch the comedian. But I feel like any offended, person, which should be putting the term person very loosely, who feels the need to go out after somebody because they're offended what they did, obviously has nothing better going on in their life than to get on the internet and complain about somebody.
The thing is, he apologized years ago for this. Kevin Hart did. He apologized years ago for the tweet that he sent out, saying that like it was something along the lines of like, if I caught my son playing dolls, I'll tell him stop. That's gay.
Right.
And he's apologized for that many times in the past few years. So now the Oscars, and like I said before, it was already out there. It was already brought back into light. So if he were to have apologized for saying that again, I feel like the Oscars still wouldn't have let him host.
No,
Probably not.
I think entertainers are held to a higher standard because, we could get into we'll have to do another podcast on esoteric knowledge and like why Hollywood seems to control the way the majority of people in the world honestly think and act and move. That's a whole nother podcast in of itself.
Because what it used to be is they influence how people live. They influence how people talk. They influence how people dress and do this and do that. Now it's like, oh no, you have to do this. You can't do that.
But listen, they're still influencing. It's just a different way. Instead of influencing you to say whatever you want, now you're influenced to not say whatever you want. Everybody's being, censored.
You're told you cannot say, and I'm not defending Kevin Hart and what he said. I'm defending him and not making a, but he eventually apologized anyways. Again,
honestly, I wouldn't have apologized again personally.
I would apologize initially, but after I've apologized so many times, and you bring it back to light years later when I'm in a space where there's a majority of white people in it.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't know, man. The world's changing. You can't make a joke anymore. You can't be a man anymore. You can't have your own opinion anymore. It's going to come to a point where nobody's going to be able to say shit about anything.
Yeah, because comedy's going to die.
Except for the LGBTQ community and women. Like, I'm not singling anybody out. I'm just saying, literally, if you are not a female or if you are not gay or gay friendly, then your opinion does not matter. It is not valid. You're in the wrong. It doesn't matter what the case is.
I have nothing against that. Brings something up to me.
I love women.
Because it comes back to all of it. But of course,
hold on a second.
It's okay. My bad. Go ahead.
Just real fast. I remember. Do you guys remember me telling you about that internship in college? It kicked me out.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were this comic book company that was honestly just a hidden agenda for social justice warrior type stuff. All they wanted to do was promote, the gay agenda and female only comic characters. You pretty much couldn't write about a white male character at all. That was pretty much what I noticed very blatantly without them saying it. And they, that's just the way they wrote. That's all they advertised. And I just wasn't feeling it, but they kicked me out for some bullshit anyway about editing a paper, my very first one I reviewed, because a few words were off, and instead of just corrected me, they just decided to let me go. That was a blessing in disguise, because I couldn't work for someone like that who wouldn't even allow freedom of speech, essentially, and especially in my favorite media.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with Adam. Go ahead.
Okay, I was just going to say, freedom of speech and creativity go hand in hand. Because how can you're right, they should. Because how could you we create our own thoughts and we create our own realities.
Right.
Based on your mental, your headspace, where you're at mentally. So if you can't express yourself in the way you want to express yourself, whether that be, if you're a man and you dress as a woman and you want to walk down the street with your boyfriend, or whether it be, you want to carry your pistol on the side when you go to Walmart and pick up your groceries.
Right.
Like who's to say one person can or can't do the other thing? And I think that's the problem with the PC era now, is that one side is getting one side is being played as the favorite, and the other side, first off, people are being split into sides. And second off,
which leads to our last podcast. Which reflects on our last podcast where we were saying, like, people are saying, like, oh, pick a side, but like one side saying, like, one time they're saying, oh, it's freedom of speech. The next time they're saying, oh, you have to pick a side now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Very double standard.
Yeah.
Triple standards.
Shit, quadruple.
Yeah. But
etc.
Yeah, but to answer your question, Corn, do I think they should be held accountable? Honestly, given the influence that these entertainers have, it's going to come naturally. I don't think it's a should or shouldn't. I think it's just an absolute. Like, if you have that power over that many minds, somebody's going to hold you to something. But
go ahead. My bad. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I was going to say, but if I was Kevin Hart, I'm not apologizing for something that I said 9 years ago in 2 tweets, making fun of my relative for looking what used to be known as goofy. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I'm not apologizing for that more than once. You're lucky if I'm apologizing for that one time. But
because he doesn't feel that way anymore, and people know he doesn't feel that way anymore. So why people are just doing it? Because I don't want to make anybody feel comfortable here, but at the same time, I don't give a fuck. He's in that spotlight now where there's a bunch of white people in control. Someone brought that to light, knowing that he was going to get in trouble for it again.
Oh, absolutely.
Being held to a higher standard, yes, because here's the thing about it. And I was listening to somebody earlier on their podcast which made me kind of think, because he was like, yeah, because you look at comedians, right? Especially comedians specifically. Different comedians make fun of different people. And some comedians make fun of all people. But as soon as somebody says one thing about, it's just like there's an uproar when somebody says something about one thing. But you're laughing at all the other jokes. But then when it comes to that joke, you're not laughing because it affects your group of people. Whether you're black, white, Hispanic, gay, transgender, straight, it doesn't matter. Woman, man, doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
So I honestly don't think comedians should be held to that standard.
I don't think so either. But yeah, for those exact same reasons. But Kevin Hart at this point is beyond a comedian. He's a superstar. He's a movie star.
This guy's mainstream to the very highest degree, which is not really a bad thing in his case, because he started off so pure and like vivid. This dude's comedy was killing it when we were in high school. He was tearing it up when we were in high school.
Yeah.
Now his stuff, like, I don't think it's as funny as it used to be, but he's still funny. He's still a funny dude. Yeah. I guess it's very unanimous. But yeah, like he's still doing his thing. He's still rich as shit. He's still in movies and stuff. So people have not gotten tired of Kevin Hart. So
that's true.
That's what makes it such a.
Okay.
I was gonna say that's what makes it so hard, because even when you're famous, then you have to watch your back like twice as much, because if you say anything, you're gonna get fucked.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's almost bad in a way to be famous, even though it's clearly not as from a financial standpoint, but from like a what?
And from how you portrayed.
It's almost as like you can't even grow as a person anymore.
No.
Like you said something when you were, in his case, he was probably early to mid 20s.
Yeah.
In the early 2000s, saying some shit, making a joke about, somebody looking gay.
And for somebody coming from Philadelphia, I mean,
it's somebody coming from where he comes from. Exactly. Yeah. Honestly, what do you expect? Like, society creates these. This is what cracks me up. Society creates these pockets of, a mental space to where people that come from certain areas think certain ways and say certain things, and then when they get out of it, the new thing that society wants to create, they have to now adhere to that after they already grew up in.
They want you to adjust. Yeah, they want you to adjust when they want you to adjust, not when you can be adjustable.
Yeah, if you spend your formative years, your childhood years in the hood, poor, downtrodden, shitty schools, shitty, one parent in the household, like you can't take that out of a person. It takes a lot to take it out of a person.
No, not at all, man.
They have to learn on their own pace.
Exactly, and it's typically a lot slower.
Yeah, because because here's the thing. Here, the way I see it is, somebody comes from the areas that you're talking about, or they come from just struggling in general,
Exactly,
and then they make it big. But they come. You got to remember, they came from this spot, so they need time to learn how to do certain things, and they need to have time to learn how to react to certain situations, and how not to say this, and how not to say that. The way I think people don't see it as they still need to make money. Now, Kevin Hart's case, he's good forever, but like not him specifically, but other people, they need time to adjust. Because they still need to make money. People don't understand. You're taking money away from these people just because they said one thing 10 years ago when they were teenagers.
Yeah, but you can't. Yeah,
because now they want people to not make any mistakes, and that's just not possible. It's not.
Absolutely
not.
And some jobs require you to have social media as an entertainer. Like you have to have a Twitter,
Yeah,
and you have to post this many times to get money.
right.
Or to,
and YouTubers have to make YouTube videos, etc.
Yeah. And this kind of leads into my next thing. So I don't know if you guys heard yet. I kind of told you about it a little bit, but I don't know if you guys looked it up yet. But the whole like that picture I sent y'all earlier, that was a real picture about the snowman, Frosty.
Oh my gosh, real? That was actually real.
I told you it was real.
I know you said this is real, but I thought you were just trolling us.
They're taking Frosty off of television
because he doesn't wear pants.
Man running around with a pipe in his mouth, talking to little children.
It's a fucking snowman. What the fuck, dude?
Yet these chicks can be on Instagram showing nipples and everything else, and they get 700,000 followers.
I love how you segued
and promoted in millions of dollars.
I love how you segued.
But you can't have a snowman with no pants on smoking a pipe. That came out like 70 years ago.
Dude, my parents were little kids when Frosty came out.
Exactly.
Like,
and it's Christmas time, so I'm gonna add to this the song "Baby It's Cold Outside."
Well, hold on, Corn.
Okay,
let me finish Frosty. So
okay,
before we move on,
Ice Frosty.
it's yeah, let's be sure to ice Frosty. Well, he has no dick. He's a snowman. Like, are you serious? You shitty media. Who is this one sack of shit who is getting on the internet and saying I'm offended, and they decide what happens? I mean, for this timeless icon.
I mean, come on, Adam. You got to think. It's a very concerned mom who's concerned that her children are watching it.
Mom.
Come on. You got to think about it, dude. You just side with her.
They are catering to one idiot instead of the majority. Why? When did society have to just adhere to one stupid fuck instead of a majority of people with a single brain cell? Like, what is going on, man? They're just letting the losers win. So now the losers are the winners. I just don't understand, man.
Soon, okay, Teletubbies does not pretend it is because Teletubbies has no humans in it. Barney, though, is probably going to get banned. Clifford is probably going to get banned.
Clifford, he's a fucking dog.
They all didn't have pants on.
Oh, Clifford's Red Rocket Dick.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't say all that. I'm saying like Clifford is humans, and he's a dog with no pants. And just like Barney's a dinosaur, it doesn't matter. Snowman's not a man. It's called Snowman just because he's a male. But
they are males. These are males. And when I see a male, I think about penis. So that must be what going through these concerned parents' heads. Our children can't be exposed to dick, so we can't. We better take all this stuff off.
Yeah, so I just looked up a little bit of this. Baby, it's cold outside.
Yeah, we can move into that now.
And so
Okay, so
I'm reading this. Hold on. I'm reading this New York Times article. Well,
Mhm.
really skimming it, and somebody quoted in the article. It says, "I think a lot of men and women were blind to the power men had over women, and I think as we move forward, things totally transform, and we can put names to those feelings."
Oh boy.
So you mean to tell me that a playful song where basically they were just flirting with each other
And it was cold outside.
has turned into some male-dominated,
I'll
test
tell you-
fest?
I'll tell you a lyric from this song because one of my Lyft drivers actually told me about this.
Oh boy.
He was like, "Now listen closely to the song." I'm like, "Okay." So he fast forwarded to a certain part of the song, and the chick says, "What's in this drink?" And the guy responds with, "Baby, it's cold outside."
Really?
He was
Okay.
like, "That." He's like, "Come on, man, come on, dude, you
Probably
can't."
what kind of
Okay.
alcohol is this? Like maybe they were getting drunk together. And
I'm like, it literally is to me. It feels like it's one of those things that you can't really explain, but it's just like that's part of the reason why you guys are pissed off at this song now. 80
Now.
years, 50, 60 years after this song
This
came
song
out.
came out in the 30s, bro.
Damn.
Or 1940 or something, man.
my grandparents were like my parents' age now. I think.
Almost. Well, I wouldn't say all that, but
Yeah,
100.
the song is 74 years old. Just saw it.
Okay, maybe not. Yeah, actually, yeah.
So on the better half of a century after this song comes out, and you're gonna say it promotes.
Now we're offended. It's only because it's the PC era and the internet gives us access to everything. So these idiots have a voice and they have more pieces of shit all coming together and making their voice heard. It's so stupid, but we can't stop it. Like they're gonna win. The ignorant are gonna win.
That made me think. Like you can't. It's harder to approach chicks now. It really is. It's harder to because they have this empowerment mentality now where it's like it's supposed to be equality. Now it's like, oh, you guys can't do shit now. Guys can't say shit now. Guys can't do shit now. I feel like it's gonna get to that point.
Oh, that's where it's heading. I don't think it's about equality at all. If you want to keep it real. I think it's about literally.
That's what we come for. Is the real deal.
Because females have been pissed off and fed up for a long time, and they should have. But to this extent, come on, man.
But name a woman who's not pissed off and fed up about something at some point in time, anyway, regardless of what she's got and what she don't got.
Name a person in general that's not pissed.
Thank you.
Person, yeah, everyone.
I mean, because that's why I had another question. Like, do you need a woman's consent now to even buy her a drink? Just like if a woman's sitting in a bar and you tell the bartender, "Hey, I want to get her a drink," because someone told me at school the other day. That's why I really want to do this podcast on Monday, because on Monday when I was taking an exam, when I went in for the exam, somebody was telling me, he's like, he's like, my brother went to the bar the other night and bought this chick a drink, but didn't talk. He didn't talk to her before, so she got creeped out, and she was like, "I didn't ask you for a drink," and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you can't even appreciate something that somebody does. Like, you can say, "Hey, I have a boyfriend" or something like that. I don't know whether she had a boyfriend or not, whether she was taking it or not, but she got really mad at this dude's brother because he was at the bar and he bought her a drink. Like, he went to the bartender and said, "Hey, get her this drink," because she was sitting in the bar by herself on her phone, of course. That's what the dude was telling me. So, and even because they're always on the fucking phone. So he bought her a drink. The bartender gives her a drink, and then she walks up to the dude's giving her. He's trying to get the whatever it is, to walk up to her and talk to her. Before he can even finish walking towards her, she sprints towards him and is like, "I didn't tell you to buy me a drink." She's like, "You should have asked me before you wanted to buy me some kind of drink." I'm like, yo.
I'm saying that men can't be men anymore. Now, granted, the buying a chick a drink game never really worked for me, but
maybe not for you. I mean, it definitely hasn't. It obviously hasn't worked for me because obviously, but it does work. I mean, I've seen it happen.
Oh
before.
yeah, I have too.
But I mean, it's to a point now where you can't even do that. you literally have to walk up to a chick and ask to buy her a drink. Like, and that is part of the game. Like, people do that. I think most people do that now, but it's not like, is it really that bad to buy a chick a drink? You pay for it. You don't even touch the drink, so it's not no Bill Cosby type shit.
Yeah,
it's
like
not no
you
creepy.
literally, the bartender standing in front of the girl making the drink and handing it to her.
You give the bartender money to give her a drink, so you can go and talk to her and have a conversation.
Yeah, I think it's a good icebreaker, pun intended, because ice in the drink. Yeah, but I mean,
thanks for explaining that, Adam.
I thought you guys might need to know,
we good, fam.
the details on that joke. Yeah, bro, it's really really quite a slippery slope. No pun intended, because. Anyways, go ahead. I just want to continue on that ice joke, but you get what I'm saying.
Maybe. Anyway,
I basically disagree with this whole situation or any conversation in general.
Yeah, I'll just go back to what I was talking about when I say I don't think this whole, this change in the mass consciousness of the United States, because let's be real, this Me Too stuff isn't happening. Well, I'm not saying it's not happening in other countries. I won't go that far because you never know, but it's not as big of an issue. I don't hear, well, obviously aside from, certain areas, but I don't hear much about, these things happening with, Eastern European countries, Spanish countries. I'm not seeing a lot of women come out and not wanting a man to be a man at the end of the day. And let's be honest, there are certain biological things with men and women that we can't escape. But I think that's trying to be rewritten. And I think we're in the beginning stages of, like, we're on the upslope of that.
Yeah.
Because dudes aren't really doing what dudes used to do. Girls aren't really doing, or women aren't really doing what women used to do. Everybody's kind of mixing and matching and trying different things and getting offended at everything. Back in the day, you used to go up and say, hey, go to a woman and say, hey, baby, where you going with that dress on? Now, dude, can't even. But see, the thing is, women liked it back in the day.
Yeah, bro.
Because at the end of the day, women want attention.
Well, yeah. that hasn't changed.
It's something like that now.
That has never changed. And now it's to where if they don't get enough attention, or they get attention from someone they don't like, then they're gonna start to shit.
Yep. Or they wanted the attention then, but then they regret it, and then now they want to go back and like, oh well. Now that I think about it, I think this and that may have happened.
By the way, we're not saying all of them.
No,
we're just saying a lot of them.
If you get offended by this podcast, then what we're talking about probably pertains to you.
Well, if they get offended at this point, then they've already listened this far, so they're probably just fine with it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's definitely like, and plus America is a country we change all the time, so. I'm not surprised that this is happening. I'm not gonna lie, that whole snowman shit did catch me from surprise, and the biggest
that's ridiculous. Yeah,
by surprise, that did surprise me because I'm like, you guys are going way. Now you're gonna start saying like, who was the president in fucking World War I?
Oh my God, was it Eisenhower? No, that's World War II.
I'm scared to start saying some shit.
I'm offended by Abe Lincoln. Take his name off the presidency. Change the $5 bill and the penny.
They already changed the 20, right?
No, that never happened.
Oh, the one that didn't happen. The Harry Tubman.
When was the last time you looked at a 20, bro?
Yeah, Corn. Dig up those Jacksons, man.
I don't carry cash on me, bro.
I haven't carried cash in a while, but I know that didn't change.
Yeah, that's
Start throwing tubs in the club.
Tubs in this club. Yeah, bro. Was that all just a rumor? Or did that actually not?
No, I thought they were talking about actually trying to do it for real, but I mean they haven't. I mean, honestly, they're going to get rid of cash anyway, so I don't think it's ever going to happen.
That probably won't happen.
Dude, let's touch on this really fast. I mean, this is kind of unrelated, but you brought up cash. So me and Corn brought this up the other day when we were checking out Red Dead, just the whole cash system and how much more money used to mean back in the day. And so, Corn, you remember we mentioned that change now is essentially worthless and it's only used for like transportation and laundry purposes, whereas back then that was the big the big normal currency where dollars were this big deal. Like if you had dollars on you, were a high roller.
Like I said, we're changing. Everything changed.
Now change is change. A different form of change is worthless. Cash is just barely anything, and now it's all about you. It's just direct deposit. Credit only.
Yeah, like my job.
Digital money. The promise of having money in the future.
Right.
That doesn't actually exist.
Yeah, because
that's what. Yeah.
my job just got. I never do checks anyways, but my job just got rid of doing checks. So now everybody had to, like, the people who didn't have direct deposit, they were like freaking out. They're like, oh, I'm like, dude, do you not have a fucking banking account? Like, but like, because they got rid of checks now at my job, and they're like, you have to have direct deposit. So now everybody's like running around trying to do direct deposit, whatever. But it's just like, this has been going on for like 10 years. Like where
it's been longer than that, but yeah.
I'm saying where like cash is like somewhat irrelevant. It's getting to that point.
Yeah. I'd say since like late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
Cash has really been, on the downward slope, and now, cryptocurrencies are popping off, and
cash is about to crash.
Digital money and loans and, all this kind of stuff is just cash is, it's going to go away. And also cash isn't traceable, and we all know what the government wants to know, everything everybody's doing at every single given time. Yeah. So you can't trace cash. You can they can see, oh, you took $300 out of your bank account, but what'd you do with it?
Correct.
They might be able to tap into your cell phone and hear your conversation about where you're going to spend your cash, but you can't. That's not. I mean, you still can't really trace it. So
no, and that makes them scared.
Yep.
Hey, well, that case.
And when the government gets scared, they just get rid of it completely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So wow. So they'll just make cash worthless at some point.
Yeah.
I know I keep making big
cash is going to go away at some point.
Like I know I keep making like game references, but that's like in Fallout where they made bottle caps the new currency and cash became worthless. It's like honestly they could do that with anything at this point. Like I guess cards will become the big thing, or they'll just change it to something else.
Or magnets.
Whatever we have to have on us. Yeah, like they'll do that with that. What you guys talked about a few times ago. The chip that's going to be inside of us all.
Yeah.
Whatever. They'll have money counted through that.
Years. Yeah, they've been talking for a long time about putting chips in people's. And I mean, and thankfully there's a lot of like religious people that are like, we can't do that. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
So thankfully they've put that off for a little bit, but at some point they're going to be like, hey, look, you get this chip or you get the fuck out.
Yeah,
it's gonna come to that. The real ID is coming in 2020, and you can't even fly domestically without having a real ID starting in 2020.
Yeah.
You can't even fly in your own country.
Dude, I
saw be out of America. But
when I went to go switch my Virginia driver's license the other day to the Florida driver's license, it's literally called a real ID.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything switches over to that now.
Damn.
It's crazy. But to get on a little bit lighter note, a little bit, somewhat, because this is kind of dangerous, what they're doing. But I was telling Adam before this podcast, there's these videos going around where these Asian chicks, I would say Asian because I don't know whether it's in China or Japan, I keep forgetting, but somewhere in Asia where these chicks are, not even chicks, but people in general, they're going into these jewelry stores and they're trying on these necklaces and they're acting like they're going to run outside the door, or run outside the store with it, but they run to a mirror and the cashiers are chasing them, but then once they get to a mirror, they stop. And I kept watching these videos.
Shit is funny.
I kept watching these videos and I'm like, this is hilarious, but at the same time, this is dangerous.
Yeah.
And
somebody might snap.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I really hope. I mean, because obviously, it's like people in America have seen it now because that video alone that I was watching had like 11 million viewers or some shit like that.
Wow.
And I'm like, I really hope no one in America tries that. I really hope no one in America.
Oh, somebody's gonna be in the shot. You already know that.
Absolutely.
Somebody's gonna
get shot, and then it's gonna be a reason to ban guns, and then it's gonna be, they can spend that whatever way they want.
Yeah, it's like you laugh, but it's true. Like it's gonna be another let's get rid of guns agenda.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said before, they can try and get rid of guns, but the people that have the problems with the guns aren't people that are getting the guns legally.
Exactly.
So like, there's no like. But I feel like this is a very dangerous game. Maybe not in China, but here.
Different rules.
It's very dangerous.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I saw 1 or 2 of those videos. I mean, honestly, I was laughing, but at the same time,
It's funny.
Right, exactly.
And in the back of my head, I'm like, oh man, I really hope nobody tries that shit.
For real. Like,
I really hope nobody tries that shit, man.
yeah, that's only a joke I would make if I was really comfortable with somebody and just like, hey, let me see your ring, and then just just run real quick and like, no, I'm just playing. But that's not something I would do in a store. But I mean, I don't like drama or confrontation.
Yeah.
Not saying I won't handle it. I just don't like it. So I prefer to just stay away from shit like that. But
Yeah.
you know, people can do whatever the fuck they want. At the end of the day, no matter what rules are imposed on us, no matter if they're trying to emasculate men or make women the supreme rulers of the earth or whatever the hell they want to do. Like people are still gonna do what they want to do at the end of the day.
I'll tell you something. That's just gonna happen.
Whether they die for it or they don't die for it.
Whether we like it or not, that shit's gonna happen.
yeah, it's getting towards that, especially with the media's treatment. I hope we're like.
And I'm not saying that only men should rule the world or no dumb shit like that.
No one should rule
But
the world.
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen where it's like, if you're not a woman, get the fuck back.
That's what it's gonna be.
It's coming to that point.
Yeah.
It's to that point. And I'm not even gonna get into that whole thing, but it's very ironic with what's happening right now, where there's other people that have been fighting for different shit or for the same kind of respect and still not getting it. But then
Not getting it, and we'll never get it.
these other agendas are happening, and they're getting all this respect and change this that way, do this that way, do it our way, and it's just like,
It is what it is, man. I mean, three mid-20s dudes on a podcast aren't going to really be able to change the world, but we can at least vent about it and have a couple laughs, right? Like
that's what this podcast is about. It's about venting, and whoever listens.
Right, venting, getting your point across, trying to maybe help somebody get to know you a little bit as a person, and ultimately just maybe they'll end up liking us if we just be sincere every time. Because I don't ever want to compromise integrity for anything. Like even if somebody offered me, I think we mentioned this another time. If somebody offered you $1 million to be just be
for like 20 minutes. Because you're like going on this whole spiel about.
I was getting into it pretty.
So like, dude.
I was getting pretty deep about it because ultimately you have to sacrifice your sense of self for money, and I would never want to do that.
Absolutely not. Yeah, man. Everything's. Yeah. I mean, I know it's been over a month since the last time we had our podcast, but man, a lot of shit has happened since then, man.
Yes, it has. I recently relocated, and we haven't podcasted because of me. I haven't had internet for about a month now.
Comcast been giving it to Jaron.
Dude, I don't even get how you like. I don't want to say how you were living because that just sounds stupid. But like, what did you do with no internet? You just sit
reading books.
I mean, I read a few books, and I have media on my on my computer. I'm a nerd at the end of the day, so I've got TV shows and movies on my computer. And one of my coworkers gave me her half of her and her husband's DVD collection, which is like this is only A through L, and it's a book of 300 DVDs.
Holy shit!
And that's only A through L.
Jaron was just fine.
I was fine, honestly. I did miss online video games, and it made it a lot harder to pay bills and correspond. Especially, I have internet at work, but I can't be doing personal stuff at work all the time, hardly ever.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
It kind of sucked at the end of the day, but it's fine. I'm good now. I got internet.
Oh, yeah, bro. Yeah, you better me coming up next week. I ain't about to sit there playing Go Fish with your ass.
That's true.
Dead. I'm too dead.
Yeah. Anybody have anything else they want to add?
I think we're good.
We're about to wrap it up, folks.
That was a good one.
We're gonna hopefully come up with a new topic and hopefully do another one next week if anybody's down with that.
Yeah. We're gonna have another next week for sure.
we'll be
we're gonna be back on a regular schedule now.
Oh, and there is a logo coming soon from me. I'm gonna work that out and hopefully get it posted. Maybe by the weekend. It's almost done already.
You sent us a prototype like a month ago.
Yeah, I did. I know. I've been slacking, but it's already drawn. I just need to color it. So yeah, I'll be posting that on my Facebook soon and actually start promoting it there. So
Like Dre said, it is what it is.
it's and also like Rakim said. But all right, y'all. You all take care. This is Adam signing out. And,
Yes.
And Big J signing out. Everybody have a wonderful day or night.
Later.
Yeah. Stay cool.
Say Frosty the Snowman. What's going on, everybody?